Hey friends, how's it going? Wolf here. And in today's video, I want to show you guys a new agent I built today. And the agent can fully build front ends. And let me show you how it goes. So I built this little dashboard here. And this is a full JSON response that our agent in our N8N workflow created for us. So we can pass the JSON and the dashboard kind of analyzes everything and shows us all the files. So everything, all the code you see here, everything has been created by our N8N agent, and it also tells us the costs and tells us the full code here has a cost of about 10 cents and all of that. And we can also start a local preview, so it'll create this local project here, and it will basically create a new Next.js project based on the code that our agent created. And it should take just a couple seconds here for this to create, and this will now run on our localhost on port 3002. So we can open the new window here, it'll compile for a second, and this is the front end, the dashboard basically. So everything you see here has been created by our N8N agent, and it's just like the very first iteration. So we can say something like hey, and it'll give us like fixed answers. We can also say subscribe to Wolf AI Dev, and it'll also give us the same response again. And it's not fully functional yet, like we cannot do a new chat, or this is a little buggy still, but this is the very first iteration, and everything you see here, like the full Next.js project for a front end dashboard, has been done by our agent. And I'm going to show you guys in today's video how you can build this N8N workflow. Surprisingly, it's probably one of the easiest workflows we've ever built, because it is actually very simple to build. And we do this by utilizing the new power of the V0 API, which is a super nice AI tool by Versal. And yeah, also this cool custom dashboard has also been built by V0 to generate the little analysis of our project. Also, before we get into the workflow, guys, I want to give a quick shout out to our school community, the free school community. We've hit more than 220 members now, so thank you guys so much for that. It's a super nice community. Yeah, as you guys can see, also pretty active. We're talking about a lot of things. We've talked about the new Google Image Gen 4 API here. Had some very nice, interesting discussions. And also, I will post the YouTube resources for my videos here in the school community, so feel free to check that out. Should be the first link in the video description. For example, for the Google Maps agent, I've posted everything here, or for our AI music agent. So basically, you have some quick links and description and the video linked here, and then also the workflow, so you can just download the JSON file, import it into your N8N workflow, and you have the full workflow. So also for today's video, you can just go to the school community, download it, everything here is for free, and then you have the full workflow instantly in your N8N, okay? And also for the YouTube, we are also at 340 subscribers now, so thank you guys so much for that. I know it's been a little while since the last video, and I still need to record a lot of videos and have a lot in the pipeline, but I've been on a little business trip in the Netherlands and Amsterdam, and yeah, it kind of took some of my energy and focus away, but now I'm back in office and ready to pump out those videos for you guys. So feel free to subscribe if you don't want to miss any future projects. Also join the community, it's fully free. I will be posting all the YouTube resources here. And without further ado, let's get started. Also, this is fully unscripted, so yeah, I'm just speaking freely for you guys and building this in real time with you guys together. So let's go into N8N and get this baby started. We go to create workflow. This will just be a manual trigger, and I don't know if you guys expected that, but actually it's gonna be a one node workflow. So we could extend to this, but actually it's gonna be a very simple workflow. So it'll just be an HTTP request. We can call this something like send request. And now we will be doing a post request to this URL here. So it's going to connect to the api.v0.dev on the v1 chat completions. Quite interesting, this is kind of similar to the OpenAI API, and also V0 by Versal uses the OpenAI API a lot in the background as their LLM, but then, a huge knowledge base of their front end database kind of. And Versal or V0, both very well known in the space, and we've used it a lot for our full stack dashboards in previous videos as well. So we want to do a little bit of config here. So we want to go to headers now. We want to go to the authorization, like we always do, and then it's a typical Dara key, with key being your own API key here. and you want to go to v0, which is going to be v0.dev, also linked in the description. Let me zoom in a little bit here. And now you can just go to new key, and we can call this something like front end creator agent or something like that, create. Then you want to copy the key, done. And now we can put this in here. Make sure you have one single space here for this to work. And then we also want to have a body, and it's going to be a JSON body. And I'm just going to copy the expression here so you guys have a good overview. This is pretty much what the model expects. So it's going to be this model here, the V0 1.0 MD. Stream, we want to set this to false, so we don't want to have a live stream of the results, because it doesn't really work in JSON. If we wanted to build a custom Python backend, which we may also do in future videos, we can actually do an actual SSE stream and stream everything in real time, which is super cool. But for NNN, this kind of doesn't work that well, so we just want to have it false and wait for it to fully execute, right? And now we can do the prompt here. So for example, design a sleek premium full screen AI chat interface for a modern app called LLM Hub. I just call this Wolf AI Dev LLM Hub. The app enables users to chat with various large language models. Yeah, pretty much it could be way more complex. So you could actually hook up your own LLM to actually create a more tailored front end prompt. But for the purpose of demonstrating this, I'll just keep this very simple. And let me see, I think that should pretty much be it. So we can test the step and run the workflow, and this will take a while to execute. And while this kind of executes and takes a while, we can go back here. And this is also a dashboard I built with V0 and Cursor. So quite funny. We are kind of looking at a V0 built dashboard here now, and this is a Next.js front-end dashboard. And inside this Next.js dashboard, we will actually be analyzing and then also compiling and running a second Next.js dashboard, which is based on the JSON response we get from our workflow. So if this sounds kind of complicated, you will understand in a second. And we will just wait for this node to execute. This will take a little bit. It won't take too long because V0 is pretty damn good at what it does. And yeah, this will be quite interesting. Again, this is only today because I've just, kind of analyzed the API a little bit and also worked on a lot of other projects, which I can hopefully present to you very soon. So for that, definitely, feel free to check out the school and also the YouTube so you won't miss that. But this is really just a simple test. But I think it can be very powerful to integrate this API into, your own dashboards or into your own agents or all of that good stuff, because it is very powerful, and especially strong by leveraging the power and all the knowledge in Next.js projects, which, is a very modern tech stack, which we pretty much use for every dashboard kind of. So we can go to the JSON now, and now we can just copy this. So this kind of has the full, content. So it has the system thinking and how it kind of plans everything. And then it also has the full code here eventually. So this actually is the full code and all the sub pages and everything. And now it also tells us how much token usage we had and all of that. But to actually understand this, I built this dashboard here so we can just kind of refresh this. And what this does is, as you can see here, it has a file browser and code viewer, so you can look at every single file. It has a live Next.js preview, which is one of the strongest things. And it also allows you to copy and download the files. Plus it has this little add-on gimmick to actually show you the cost as well. And it kind of, expects the full JSON, which also includes the content code, which will then be analyzed. So you could choose a file here, or you can just paste your full response here. So pretty much you just click copy here, everything you got here in the output, you just put it in here, you pass the JSON, and as you can see, it will analyze everything. Okay, it will analyze everything within a split second. So what we have now here is everything that our agent just created in a pretty nice view. I can zoom out here a little bit. So let me zoom out a little bit more so you can just see everything. So we do have all the files here, right? So you can kind of go through every single file here, and look at the code. Now this has a tiny little thingy which we could change, but it works pretty nicely. So you can just look at every single file here, and you can see it's all pretty much TypeScript files or TSX files. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So you can kind of look through the code. You have the TypeScript file here, the utils TypeScript, you have this one here, and so forth. The UI button component and your main entry points here. And also a super quick overview here. Now we do have a cloud preview, which is not fully working yet because I've just vibe coded this very quickly, but most importantly, we have the local preview. So it will actually create a new Next.js project. And let me just quickly test this now here live with you guys because I have not cleared the cache yet. It could very well be that we do need to reset this little server here once because I've actually, you know, run a couple other projects in this before starting the video and I have not cleared the cache yet. But before we do that, let's also have a super quick view here. So I like this token usage calculator here, which looks pretty nice to be honest, especially with this cool gradient here. And basically what this does is it retrieves the input and output tokens from our JSON, from our NNN agent, and then it calculates the cost. So the cost is $3 per 1 million input tokens and $15 per 1 million output tokens. So by, you know, having these tokens from our response, we come to a total 11,000 tokens, and at these costs, this comes up to 9 cents. So as it says here, this is great value for generating an entire interface. Now let us start to create the local project and see how this performs. Now this could actually collide with the previous one because we still have the old one running on the 3002 port, but let's just see if it does work. And if it doesn't, I just need to quickly reset the server and then we can run it again, right? Either way, this is actually already super cool. And yeah, all of this is from this very simple, actually one node prompt. So again, you know, you could have a much more kind of complex prompt and also attach your own LLM to craft the V0 front-end prompt first and then hook it up with that. And V0 is actually quite strong, so you could actually put a very long and descriptive prompt into that, which is already like, you know, very long, and then it would build like kind of a full dashboard with that, right? But let us see what this comes up with now. So we just open our newly created dashboard here, and now this does have a little issue. So what we want to do here is we want to quickly reset the server. So let me quickly do that for a second. So we just want to terminate this job, run the server here again. And now let's see. Let's quickly do that. And as a little fallback, we still have the other prompt. So let me go back here and show you guys that. So we go here, do this, and now we try to run it again. And if this still has a little bit of an issue because I just vibe coded this kind of for the video, we will use the other one, and that will also do a phenomenal job to compile the other one. Because pretty much what this does, so everything you see here is already on my local host. So this is the Next.js dashboard running on the local host, right? On the port 3001. Now, what we also want to do is we pretty much have inside this project, we create a second project on a different port, and kind of, you know, we have the Next.js server in our Next.js server, which is a little weird to be honest. So we may very well face this little issue here because we don't have the text area now. This is actually should be pretty simple thingy because we are just missing one module here. But to showcase this, I'm just going to reload this, and now I'm going to put in this dashboard here. So this is from a different run. We will just pass this again, and now let's create the local preview here. And also we can pretty much just, you know, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to run this again. And now let's see, once this is created, this should work now, unless I did like a mistake. So let's open this again and see what it comes up with. So here we have our LLM again. This was created live, you know, it just built the dependencies and the server, which is super cool because it builds the dependencies live in real time. You know, we can also zoom in here a little bit, and then we can say something like, hey, this was created live inside a running Next.js project. And now it'll just give us a fixed answer here, and also feel free to comment and like, please. Alrighty, and here we go again, right? So let's do one more test actually with this node here that just outputs here. Again, this is just a very quick tutorial on how you can quickly set this up, but this is just a couple minutes, and pretty much we have had an n8n agent that built this entire front end, which is already pretty damn strong if you wanted to build like you know, full stack dashboards. I'm sorry, it's already pretty late. Full stack dashboards or any kind of tech solutions. And again, this could be much more comprehensive and much more detailed, because V0 is actually pretty good and really excels at that, right? But we're gonna try this one more time, so I'm gonna copy this one here. I'm not sure if this will fully work, guys, because I've not really done any debugging just yet. But let's pass the JSON again. We do have a good overview here again. We know this was 10 cents. Now we can try to run this again. Now again, this is already on our port, so we may very well collide with that because of colliding dependencies, and it'll kind of clash. But let's just try it. And if it doesn't work, well, then we already have this running. Okay, it's just kind of recompiling now though, so let's see. And let this just compile for a second. Also, this is an iframe, so if we kind of improve this a little bit more, we could also have the website render in this iframe here instead of the new localhost port. Let's see. And we do have the container issue again. Okay, so the thing is, we are missing a few of the basic dependencies because I've only added the button, but this should be fine. Like, this should be very simple to fix. So actually, if you guys kind of like this and the idea about that, let me know in the comments, and I will improve this dashboard and make it more error prone, and actually, you know, automatically add all the dependencies and all of that. So let me just do this again, put it in here again, pass the JSON, and we are back here at our other prompt. So let me just quickly run this again. And yeah, let me know what you guys think, and we can do that. I think it's gonna be a pretty fun project. We could also kind of extend on this. This should be pretty fun. And now let's see if we can get this running a last time to end the video. And let's, yeah, here we go. So let's zoom in a little bit. So I hope you enjoyed, and here we go. And now if you want to kind of use this front end and, you know, extend this and actually add your own backend and all of that good stuff, you could just go ahead here, download this, and then put it into Cursor, for example, and tell it to add the backend. So potentially we could also improve this dashboard a little more. This is pretty much just a full front-end viewer dashboard. We could also, you know, add some more functionality here and maybe tell it to automatically add the backend and then give us the full preview on its own hosted server already, you know. So all of that is very possible, and I would also enjoy building this with you guys. So just let me know in the comments if you would kind of, you know, enjoy watching that, and then we could tag that as another cool project. So yeah, without further ado, I think that's pretty much it. This is what we've built here, which is super cool. So pretty much we have this cool agent here, which is really just one node communicating with the V0 API. And all it does pretty much is give us this full prompt. We can copy this prompt, we can put it into our own little viewer dashboard here, pass the JSON. It'll give us the full overview, it'll give us the full cost, it will give us every single file that we can just kind of view here, right? Which is very cool. And then we can also run a local preview of the server here, or just, you know, look at the files or download everything and put it into Cursor, for example, and then just run it on our local host or even deploy it on the server. So that's pretty much that, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was a super fun project to make. This is just like a very simple kind of MVP, which I made in, I don't know, like 20 minutes. So if you would like to see this a little bit more complex and more advanced, let me know in the comments, and we can build this together. And I think it could become a very powerful dashboard and also a very powerful agent if we give the agent some more functionality and also way more prompting power, because this is also kind of, you know, not the best prompt to actually make your, you know, very good front end. But either way, if you enjoyed this, guys, feel free to subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like, would mean the world to me. And don't forget to check out our free school community here. Feel free to join, should be the first link in the bio. And then I will hopefully see you inside, and I'll also post this in the YouTube resources folder here, so you can actually just copy the workflow and then hook it up on your own little N8N agent, and you can just pretty much copy paste everything. So without further ado, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day. Peace.